Alright, here are all my parts from my most recent parts order. I have my pony carb gasket set right there. I was most interested in this gasket right here because if you look at that, the round gasket right there, that one. Because if you look at that and you look at the carb, so we're going to put the carb back there. If you look at the carb here, you'll see the two studs. It mounts right there, and what will happen is the carb bowl here you can take off off these two bolts right here, one on the other side. And so I opted to go ahead and get the carb gasket set in case when I put this carb back on the pony motor, if I can't get to that nut right there, which I got it off perfectly fine. It was just a tight fit for my hands. But when I put it back on there, I can take this bowl off and not worry about it. So that's one of the reasons I spent the money there. Then I have 4 front wheel hub covers. I opted to get 4 because, knowing me, I'll break one, trying to check something, and I won't have one on hand. I'll be sitting around waiting on it, and I'll forget about it, and dirt will get in the front hubs, etc. Just kind of peace of mind for me. And then put that back there. Here is the piece of radiator tubing that goes between the pony and the big engine cooling systems, since they're connected. I expected the Deere dealer was just going to haul off and cut a piece of tubing in the back, and I didn't want to run to the auto parts store at the same time because I just don't have a whole lot of time. And so actually, this is a part number. They had 3 of these in stock. I don't know what else they use them on. Here are my, can't see that one. Here are my thrust washers for the front end. I've got 2, basically 2 per package. You'll use 2 on each side, both on the bottom part. So I'll get the front end put back together sometime this week, and hopefully that'll be the end of the front end repairs. Here is the main crankcase cover gasket. This is what I took apart to show you inside the crankcase. Once I get the crankcase cleaned out and everything inspected, we'll put this back on. In fact, it even says mating surface must be oil and grease free, so that'll take a little while to do. Also went ahead and got another tappet cover gasket because I'm probably going to end up pulling tappet covers to test compression of the engine at some point, and I don't want to use the gasket that was in my gasket set for the engine. So went ahead and bought one. It's only 30 bucks, 29 bucks, I can't remember. But it was just as easy for me to buy one now. It will be to buy one later. It's probably cheaper now, and I've got it on hand. So those are the gaskets that I bought, and the parts that I bought. We'll keep plowing forward on all the projects. Hopefully later this week, and maybe if I can't find something else to put on this video, I'll actually show putting the thrust washers back together. So I've got a little bit of cleanup to do on the front wheels, so this video will probably be tacked on to a front wheel kind of continuation there. So thanks for watching. Alright, in addition to the parts, I really want to come back and follow up on a couple things. Way back, oh gosh, I guess end of the year, it's a couple months ago, I was talking about having a power steering leak, and I said that I tightened up one of the fittings. It's been sitting here now for almost 30 or almost 40 days, and since I did that, and there is no leak coming out of the power steering pump. You can see that with the mirror. There was a bunch of oil there originally, and now there's not. So just tightening up that one fitting on the top worked pretty well. So that's one thing I wanted to come back and follow up on. I'll go ahead and follow up on a couple other things to make this video long enough, and that way I can get it uploaded. One of the other things that I mentioned is replacing the bushing in the steering wheel, and you'll have to excuse my lighting setup that's turning to the middle of the video here, because I've got all the lines pulled out of the dash, and I've got the dash cluster out and everything else. But that's basically giving me light for the tractor. But anyway, this bushing right here that I need to replace. I need to pull the steering wheel off, and then I need to pull the steering shaft out. I'm not really sure how to do that. I just got a power steering manual in the mail, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago, so I haven't read through that yet. But yeah, so something that I need to work on, this bushing. It's only like 20 bucks, I think, if I remember right, and it'll cut some of that. I mean, you see how the steering wheel already flops around in there pretty good. Hopefully it'll cut down on some of the wear of the steering wheel turning back and forth. So that's another thing that I'm working on, that I've talked about. Also, I need to investigate to see if I have the water temperature gauge works. It was never registering prior to me fixing the thermostat system, or the thermostat and water and the water pump and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and see if that registers or anything else, see what we can do there. So anyway, that's one more thing that I'm going to cross off the list.